So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Alright, so week 2 of the NFL season is coming to a close, and for the Chicago Bears, they take another embarrassing loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday. I just have no words about this loss. A lot of things happened in this game. We're going to get straight to it as usual. I'm going to recap on what I saw during the game, get my grades for offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. Be warned, it's not going to be a good video, so let's get straight into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. The Bears take a 27-17 loss against Tampa Bay on Sunday in a game they desperately needed to win for morale, to prove everybody wrong. They did not do any of that. They came out very embarrassing. They came out very flat. And this was a game where we got more questions than answers about this team. So I'm not going to hold you off for too much longer. Let's get straight into it. We're going to start with the offense and the man of the hour. Justin Fields, how did he play on Sunday? Not good. He was 16 of 29 for 211 yards passing, 13 yards. He averaged 13 yards per throw, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He got sacked 6 times and had a 61.1 quarterback rating. At this point, Justin Fields, he's Mr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde and Mr. Jekyll. I just don't know. I mean, the missing reads, the skittish attitude in the pocket, taking unnecessary sacks, holding the ball for too long. We expected to see a big jump from Fields this year, especially with his passing. I know he's not a prototypical pocket passer, and the Bears have done everything in their power to try to make him a prototypical pocket passer, but that's not what he does, and it's showing. He's missing reads. He doesn't look comfortable at all. He doesn't look confident. He doesn't look like the guy that we drafted 3 years ago. I can clearly say from his rookie year, he looked much more confident. He looked like he wanted to let the ball rip. This year, he looks skittish. He looks, tentative when he's throwing the ball, and it shows in his play. He did have the 1 touchdown to Chase Claypool, on a very good, double move in which he was able to thread the needle. But it always turns into flashes with him. We never get a sense of consistency with Justin Fields. And this showed this game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense feasted on him on Sunday, and they gave up. He took 6 sacks. 4 of those were his own fault. I don't know. I'm not ready to give up on him yet, but it's getting dire here in Chicago. Let's talk about rushing the ball for a minute. I'm not happy at all about the rushing game. 7 attempts for Khalil Herbert, 35 yards, averaged 5 yards per carry. Roschon Johnson, who I thought was going to have a much bigger role in this game, only had 4 attempts for 32 yards and averaged 8 yards per carry. The backs, I can say they were good for the limited touches that they got. It's like the coaching staff, again, we keep getting coaching staffs that do not want to run the ball, that do not commit to running the ball. And when they do run the ball, they always run from gun. And that's not what this team does. Roschon Johnson's best run of the day came off of I form. Khalil Herbert, again, I form runs. The Bears did not do that on Sunday. I don't know. You have 2 very good backs. These guys are good. They don't use them correctly. Khalil Herbert, he looked much improved with his pass blocking, his pass catching. But you shouldn't be running halfback screens with him all the time. That's just not his game. He's a running back, not a wide receiver. Again, Justin Fields, he only had 4 attempts for 3 yards rushing. This is a guy who rushed for 1,000 yards last year. Now he's rushing for under 3. I just don't get that. They've stripped him of what makes him a very good quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback. They didn't call not one option play. They called 1 QB power, and it didn't work. So 2 weeks in, he has less than 100 rushing yards. That's not how the Bears are going to win games, and it's very disappointing to see that a team that was so good at running the ball last year has stooped this low with rushing the ball. Receiving, 7 targets, 6 receptions for DJ Moore. He had 104 yards, which is a good thing. The problem is all those yards came on the first 2 plays of the game, the first drive of the game. After that, they didn't really look his way. It took until 5 minutes in the 4th quarter for them to look his way again. Part of that is on Fields. A lot of that is on the scheme. DJ Moore was traded for the number 1 overall pick. He should have more than 6 receptions on the day. Cole Kmet, he had 4 receptions for 38 yards. Chase Claypool, 3 receptions for 36 yards and a touchdown. I thought he played better, but still not enough. He's still not getting the ball enough. You brought these guys here to be game changers for Justin Fields to, help his development. They have not done that. I don't know if I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's Fields missing guys, and I think it's the scheme that they're running. I'm not happy at all with the offense and how they played, especially for the first 3 quarters of the game. Basically the whole game. They're getting an F. It's unacceptable to see that you can only put up 17 points with a guy that you just traded the number 1 overall pick for. Let's go to defense real quickly. Tremaine Edmonds led the team in tackles with 16. He had 8 solo tackles. TJ Edwards followed quickly behind him with 12 tackles and 5 solo tackles. The defense early in the game was not good. They gave up a lot of chunk plays. They still weren't very good for the entire game, but they got better as the game progressed. They were able to give the ball back to the offense consistently. The offense couldn't take advantage of it. They get back on the field. You start seeing these drives where Baker Mayfield, they get them in 3rd down and longs. They still cannot get off the field on 3rd down. They still cannot get a pass rush. They did not have a sack in that game at all. They had 1 QB pressure. Just think about that. Justin Fields got sacked 6 times and had pressure in his face all day. The Bears didn't get not one. They got 1 pressure on Baker Mayfield. 1. And they didn't have a sack at all. But I thought the defense played a little bit better. They kept the Bears in the game. They held them to 10 points before halftime, and then they held them at 20 points for a while and gave them a chance to drive down the field and try to win the game. That did not happen. Tyreek Stevenson, he had a tough game guarding Mike Evans, but as the game progressed, he started to show some of those instincts. I did like the way the defense played. I thought Matt Eberflus, called, blitzes on timely 3rd downs. I think he did everything in his power to try to get off the field on 3rd down and make this defense play a little bit better. But still, letting Baker throw for 300 yards, that's unacceptable. And, I'm going to have to give them a D- for this performance. I did like the way Tremaine Edmonds played. I did like the way Andrew Billings played. We're missing Eddie Jackson, and now Jaquan Brisker is starting to pop up with injuries. We're still missing Kyler Gordon, so I don't know. This defense is going to get worse before it gets better. They're underperforming as well. They're going to get a D-. Coaching, real quickly, this coaching staff, you need to start having questions about it. From the post-game presser comments, to the stubborn play calling, to finding a way to take the blame off themselves, for the bad play calling, however you want to put it, whether Fields threw the interception or not. He threw 2. The second one was partially his fault. The screen pass one on your own 6, to run a screen pass on your own 6-yard line when you need to drive down the field in a 2-minute drill is unacceptable. And, Luke Getsy has been doing this it feels like it's been 5 games already. It's only week 2. And he has not, lived up to expectations. As people have said this before, they're only going to go as far as their quarterback and their coordinator takes them. He has not figured out a way to draw up schemes to get guys open. I don't even think he has the drive to do that. He's letting Fields stand back there, get sacked 6 times. I'm not happy with the coaching staff. I think if they lose another game like that, and they, come out with another embarrassing performance, if it doesn't happen this week, they should be fired. Point blank simple. You cannot bring in another rookie quarterback, under this regime and under this coaching staff and then just ruin him. So they're going to get an F from me. Special teams, they're going to get an A, I guess. Cairo Santos hit a 52-yard field goal. Other than that, they were a non-factor, but I'll just give them an A just because. But not a good game for the Chicago Bears. They're going on to Kansas City in a game they will most likely lose. I'm not happy. The fans aren't happy. The Bears are going to have to make some tough decisions. If they lose against Kansas City and they still look bad, you got to start having some questions now. You need to start, thinking about making some moves. I don't know how long, this coaching staff gets, but I know that team president is watching, and I know the GM is watching. So we'll see what happens, but, that's all I got for you guys in this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking videos. It helps the channel grow. These videos are very difficult to make, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these videos. Follow me on social media, as news will be coming out all week about the Bears. I'm going to get up out of here. I'll see you guys in Kansas City. As always, bear down,